Hey guys, this is the Rubin Report. I'm still Dave Rubin, and I have two of my favorite, most enlightened guests, Kelly Carlin, Rick Overton. How about that, enlightened?
It's too early for enlightenment. I don't know about you.
I want some enshadement right now. Yeah.
It's never too early.
It's hot for enlightenment today. You're right.
Take my word for it. These are very enlightened guests, so let's get right to it. Got to start with racism because that is the big topic of the week. You thought we kicked it in America, but no. Donald Sterling, we now all know what happened, so let's just fast forward and go to what happened yesterday, which was Adam Silver, the new NBA commissioner, laying down the hammer. Let's go to the videotape.
Effective immediately, I am banning Mr. Sterling for life from any association with the Clippers organization or the NBA. Mr. Sterling may not attend any NBA games or practices. He may not be present at any Clippers facility, and he may not participate in any business or player personnel decisions involving the team. He will also be barred from attending NBA Board of Governors meetings or participating in any other league activity. I am also fining Mr. Sterling $2.5 million, the maximum amount allowed under the NBA Constitution.
Okay, so if you were hiding under a rock, 10-second recap. Donald Sterling, owner of the Clippers, 9-minute audio tape, incredibly racist, while talking to his black and Mexican girlfriend. We'll get to that part in just a second. I mean, there's so many layers of this. Let's just start with just broad racism. It hasn't gone anywhere, has it?
No. Since Obama got elected, I think it's pretty much come out of the closet.
So did we have a little dip when Obama came in? Was there a little dip and a feeling like maybe we're getting past this and we're post-racial, and now it's starting to rear its ugly head again? Do you think that's what's going on?
No, yeah, I think for 10 seconds when Obama got elected, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the guy was black and had this weird name, I thought there's no way America's going for this, and they did. It was great. But yeah, it just pushed all the buttons and all of the fear of the white males who are losing the battle. Sorry, guys. And
we had a good run, Rick.
You did. You had a good run. And yeah, it's now seeping out of every corner of our culture.
So his weird name, are you saying that's why they always say Barack Hussein Obama on Fox News? Is that why they always do that?
Yes, they do that.
Rick, racism, I thought we were past it, but I guess not, huh?
Well, it shows you how smart a racist is, too. Hey, I'm in charge of hey, I'm Don. I'm in charge of a whole team. Hi, come on down to to my Ford dealership. Unless you're Asian, boom, out of there. Hey, come on down to the bathhouse. Unless you're gay, boom, out of there. You know, This guy can't.
Yeah.
He's not a very bright guy. He wasn't destined to be anything but briefly lucky.
Yeah. Would you guys feel slightly different if he didn't have this crazy history of racism? You know, Elgin Baylor, the former GM of the Clippers, had gotten into some stuff with him. There's been this slumlord issue that he didn't want black and Hispanic people renting his apartments. If this had been somebody that had a perfectly clean record, as far as we knew, would you feel different about a private phone call?
Absolutely, and there is an issue around the privacy of that phone call. I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote a great little piece, I think, for Time magazine online, and he talked about that part of it, that he didn't like that part of it. But yeah, it might have been like a Michael Richards moment or something for Donald Sterling. I mean, who knows? But the point that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar made and these other people is that this guy's been doing this for years and years. He's known, he has a reputation in this city for being like this, and no one made a fuss about it then. So, but it takes something like this, you know, a TMZ moment in our culture to actually push him over the edge.
This new media we have that, you know, they're discounting as, oh, that's just the alternate media or that's just citizen journalism, is having gargantuan sledgehammer impact on circumstances. There was the kid who had Alzheimer's in school, who was being bullied. Asperger's, and he was in school, and he records the bullies, and they sue him, and so the mass media took over, and they dropped the suit and they ran and hid.
Yeah.
And there's some other circumstances like that, aren't there?
It is powerful, but it is also there's an issue. I mean, this was a private phone call. And I guess the girlfriend today, in the LA Times, the girlfriend was saying that she did not mean for this to go out, and she did not release it, but there was a third party involved, we don't know who that is yet, who did release it. So,
do you guys fear that the privacy thing, I mean, we talk about privacy at some level every week on the show, and we're going to do more of it in a little bit, but that the privacy thing has completely disappeared because we've all said things privately in private conversations. We're all in the comedy world where you joke about things, that you do it publicly and it can be taken the wrong way, much less if you did it privately. So do you worry about that we're losing that at all? Which in no way is a defense of anything he said in that audio tape, obviously.
I don't think that we're we're talking about two different things. I'm afraid of losing other kinds of things over that system entirely than just I said the wrong thing in a joke. I think we may have given up more freedom than that for this artificial safety in that system. I'm not sure if there's any real safety at all in what they provide us with this security system. I don't think they're even referring at all to our individual safety when they're recording. They're wondering when we're going to wise up and come out and do something.
I think in general, though, I don't think we've really had the privacy conversation yet. I think we're all experimenting with this stuff, and I mean, look at social media. We give away all of our privacy in order to connect to people on Facebook and Twitter and all those places. You sign it away when you download the app, and so I don't think we've really even begun to have a real conversation about it. I don't think the average person it's hit their life yet. And when that does, then the conversation will really start here.
Well, we're trying to do it here, which is why I bring it up every week. Do you guys? To me, it seems like the NBA did absolutely the right thing.
They had no
Adam Silver, brand new guy. David Stern somewhere in Hawaii.
Whether they meant to word of it or not, they did the right thing. For publicity, because obviously this has been going on before, and they knew about it before. It was okay before until this form of media got hold of it and aimed it like a set of guns on them. And they recognized that we have a set of controls to shoot at them with words, and they're terrified of these words.
Well, and they even said that they've been wanting to take action against him for a while, but they watched these lawsuits go down, and the lawsuits kept going down in his favor, so they really couldn't make the move. And my understanding is if he hadn't done what he did yesterday, every single team was going to walk off the court last night, which would have been really fun to watch.
It would have been
spectacle, right?
I mean, even if they had just delayed the games a half hour and screwed up the TNT, ESPN.
A lot of advertisers
It's still about
furious.
money in the end. It's a business.
It was the advertisers that motivated most of this.
For sure.
Board members, long oak table of pounding fists.
Well, did you guys see the video of the advertisers at Staples Center? They were literally covering up advertisers, their billboards with
the Virgin America seats were going away.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of racist has a black girlfriend? We've been talking a lot about this on the Young Turks.
Lots of them.
Yeah. So what's going on there with that mentality that you could have a black girlfriend and then you could say to this girl, do not bring black people? Magic Johnson. Forget the racist part. If you care at all about basketball,
Johnson.
you would want to be associated with.
He's an amazing guy.
No, but really, how do you guys parse that level of racism?
Well, that kind of racism in general is fear of the other. It's your unconscious psyche, afraid of the thing, the unknown, the thing that you can't control, and the thing that is so different from you that you can't recognize it. And it leaks out in personalities in all sorts of interesting ways. So having a black or Latina girlfriend, you can fuck her. So you can have control over her. You can sexually dominate her. That's one way to deal with the other, the unknown. And the other is then to try to control, your public space. And here's a man, clearly a ton of money. You look at the LA Times ads this guy takes out once a month, touting him, I got another award with this or whatever. Total narcissist. He wants to control his kingdom, and that's one way, another way of dealing with it. I'm going to control my space, and you get to come in and you don't. I mean, it's actually not as strange as it looks.
Yeah. Is it also sort of that plantation mentality, like I can have the black girl in the house,
and I don't have to show any love.
Yep.
She's just a utility to me.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's a great analogy for sure. Yeah.
Actually, last question on this. Do you think the NBA should force him to sell? Because that's the one thing they haven't done at this point.
It's gonna
and there's
happen.
some questions as far as legality because their bylaws aren't public. So maybe the owners would have to vote on it. Do you think they should force it just to really put the final stamp on this thing?
I guess so. I don't know much about that world, but what is he going to do? What choice does he really have at this point? You're going to own
Sell
this
it,
team?
sell, yeah.
What is he going to do?
Where he's not welcome, yeah.
Yeah.
He can't show up to the games anyway, so
No, he can't do anything.
what's the point? All right, well, hopefully he sells. Okay, let's move on. I thought this was fascinating. There was a new study released by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences claiming that 1 in 25 of people that are sentenced to death are actually innocent. That's 4%. So from 1973 to 2004, 1.6% of those sentenced to death in the US, 138 prisoners, were exonerated and released because of innocence. Death sentences account for 12% of known exonerations of innocent people from 1989 to 2012. The study concluded that the criminal justice system goes to far greater lengths to avoid executing innocent defendants than to prevent them from remaining in prison indefinitely. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here. So again, I want to start with the broad thing. Where do you guys stand on capital punishment? I have a feeling I know, but perhaps I don't. Rick, I'm going to let you take this one first.
I believe you have the right in the moment to defend yourself, like to animals. And in that split second, if I got to do something terrible, so I stop something terrible, I'm going to have to do it. But later, as an act of revenge, I don't know. And there are the dodgy cases. He's so evil, there's no fixing him. The problem with it is it opens the gate to a system that goes, yes, take the one bad guy and 5 normal good ones too. And I'll take some of these now. And then I'll privatize and just start hoarding and gill netting people in to keep my lights on.
Yeah, which is what we're doing, the privatized prison thing, which is a whole other topic.
It's a different topic,
Yeah.
but it's the same mentality
It is, yeah.
of seek the reason for.
Yeah.
You built it, now look for a reason to use it.
Yeah, it's like the marijuana laws. There's no logic. There's no rationality around this stuff. It's pure emotion. The drug laws are all based on wanting to control populations through that. And this is the same thing. There's no actual proof of anything that this reduces crime. People who are enforce, law and order people who actually work in law and order are against it because they know it doesn't reduce crime.
Yeah.
It costs more to have it. It's the most irrational system possible. And I don't want the state in charge of deciding with this new study, this means that there's a good percentage of people who are definitely innocent and are being put to death.
Yeah, so I
And
completely...
held for years before that.
Yes.
Right.
They're mostly dead in here, like half of them,
For sure.
Their spirit's gone
It's
just a shell by the time you killed it,
Right, and being put in jail for life isn't that much better, obviously, but at least you're breathing, so it's a little bit better.
And it's cheaper.
I totally agree with you, and it is cheaper.
It's crazy.
Which also makes no sense,
Right.
that's another thing about our legal system that's
And the
nuts.
people who should be, if it was other people up for death row from Wall Street, I might have to go, no, wait a minute now,
So that's your
now
caveat.
China's got it all worked out with industrialists.
I'm an absolute
Wall
absolutist when it
Street
comes to
crooks,
this.
death row.
Well,
I'm gonna write
I
that
found
down.
a statistic that
Yeah.
California would save $1 billion over 5 years by replacing the death penalty with permanent imprisonment.
All right, so that being said, so if you take that, so if you take the financial angle and you take the 4%, which is a big number.
It is.
Do you think there's any number that would flip the people that are for the death penalty? Is there any number? If that got up to 10%, because I don't think they would change their mind. I don't think there's any empirical evidence that would cause them to change their mind.
I think people who believe that an eye for an eye is right is just the way they believe that.
And they don't care how many innocent people have to be...
I guess not. Because this
It's
is
like
in
the
place.
new Superman, the new collateral damage Superman. He's mad that some guy knocked his mom over, so he goes through 3 apartment buildings, blows one end of it and out the other with people going, my kid's cradle and, whatever. You did something to me personally, and this is personal. Crash, bang. And that
How
kind of
many innocent
mentality.
people do you think Superman killed in that
I
movie?
was
I just watched
counting.
it.
Did you just
And
see the
buildings.
buildings
How
he
many
went
buildings
through?
did he destroy?
Knocked over buildings, corn silos, ruining life. That the farmer whose corn's only bought. I'm sorry, Bessie May, I can't pay for it. it's that mentality. That mentality is the same thing as I am. You know, we are doing this for your own good. A lot of you got to die for your own good. A lot of the innocents have to do it to protect you. It's becoming evident it's a broken system.
It's Old Testament thinking.
Old Testament.
And as we know, the culture wars right now is Old Testament versus rational science people. That's where we are in America. That's where we've been for 30 years, and it's heating up now. But it becomes so obvious, you know, when you look at just the numbers. And then today, last night, of course, in Oklahoma, horrific. They went to execute this man, and they've got new medicine, and he woke up and he was twitching and everything, and then had a heart attack 40 minutes later. Really?
Do we think that maybe that qualifies as cruel and unusual punishment? And you know what, if the death penalty was so good, maybe they wouldn't have to do the thing where the people that all press the button at once so you don't know who actually did it, or the firing squads where some of the people have blanks because they don't want to live with. So if it was really okay, it seems like you'd be able to find more people willing to actually kill them, right?
No, it's and then the fact that she's not stopping executions in her state. They're just going to wait 2 weeks and try to sort this out.
Yeah, because that should probably be resolved in 2 weeks.
That'll be nice.
What do we do? What do we do to reform some of these people? Because there are the people, maybe the Hannibal Lecters, you know, that really can't be reformed or ever put back into society. But we have plenty of people that go to jail for life or go to jail for half their lives that can be reformed. And it seems like we make people more hardened criminals than actually help them.
Because the institutionalization, I mean, what happens in those walls of those prisons changes people. They go from humans to animals. I was just watching a Frontline the other night about solitary confinement, and it dehumanizes these people to the point where I can't imagine them ever functioning outside those walls again. I don't know what the answer is. In
Gitmo, that's a form of torture. You know, to do what they do to Americans. A lot of torture stuff's happening to Americans all the time now.
Yeah.
A lot more and more and more of it, like against all treaties everywhere.
Yeah.
Weren't we closing that Gitmo thing? What happened to that?
Oh, gee, what happened to that?
Didn't the president run
wait, who was the guy that said it in 2008?
He was going to shut it down.
Do it.
The guy with the weird name.
Right, that
guy. Yeah.
Okay, see how we brought that all around to something. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the environment. I thought this was really fascinating. If you don't think we're altering the climate and you're not big on climate change, maybe a little more evidence will prove it to you. So there's been a major drought. They're saying one of the biggest, if not the biggest droughts ever in California is happening right now. And workers in Northern California right now are engaged in this massive mission to move 25 million baby salmon from 5 inland hatcheries to the ocean so that they can breed and live lives and grow. We've got some photos. So they're just moving them. I mean, they're moving. There's a lot of salmon in those trucks. There's a lot of omega-3s in those trucks. Yeah, that's right. We've got one of the salmon flowing through a pipe. So then they're literally piping them in. So we're taking them from the hatcheries because they will die where they are because of the drought. And now we're pumping them to the ocean. And we've got one more. This is them being released into the Pacific. Okay. So
unceremoniously deposited.
I
beg your
feel like I'm watching one of those artificial insemination things on some larger level or something.
There was something very sexual.
It was very much like put the egg into the ovum and then put it in the ocean.
And then kersplash.
That's right.
Yeah. Are we totally, look, I know I'm making a bit of a jump. I don't have any empirical evidence that says this is absolutely climate change. Exactly. That's what I wrote here. I was trying to be a little more highbrow. Yeah, all of our environment stories, I could just at the end be like, we're fucked. No, but really, look, we don't have any evidence that this specifically is because of something that humans have done to the environment, but we keep hearing more and more about these stories and species that are going extinct and climates that are changing and changing topography and all this stuff. Are we just going to just simply destroy this Earth?
The Earth is pretty resilient considering meteorites have hit it and stuff like that, and some little mole. We personally, our phase may be done. The phase of this form of biped may be done. I think something's going to come up and make it again.
Or the numbers may be done. The billions of us. We're going away.
We may get whittled back a bunch.
This whatever this is, I mean, unless they come up with some super neato thing that can reverse all of this real quick. The scientists have decided that, we're already on the slippery slope downhill.
Mars. Let's fuck Mars up now.
But you know,
Isn't the whole point of going there to fuck it up, right?
Pretty
That's
Fuck
what
it
they
up,
say.
dig a hole and fuck it up.
gets all about getting the iron and the ore out of it. But that's the thing about this fishery thing, which is, you know, I guess part of it was that they can't, if they let them go their normal route, there's not enough rivers and streams, and they're going to take a left turn instead of a right turn at some point or whatever. But anyway, aren't these salmon, aren't these the fish that are born, and then they go down their little thing, and they go out in the ocean, and they live a life, and they go, hey, I need to make babies, and they turn around, and they go back up the... How are they going to do that part?
So, yes. So that's a little confusing
Are they gonna,
too.
like, go to the coastline and wait for their truck to show up?
Yeah. Right, like,
Have they imprinted on the diesel semi-truck now as its father?
right. Is there
That's the
GPS?
weirdest thing.
And that's actually really funny. Like they get dropped off at the ocean. It actually changes everything that they've been.
I'm really concerned about this part. We need to speak to a scientist.
All right, so we're not scientists, and I know we're going to have some scientists yelling in the YouTube thing, but if you want to watch, there's an amazing documentary, I think it might be on YouTube somewhere, about the life of a salmon. And if you want to know why salmon are so healthy for us to eat, just watch the documentary, because their whole life is going swimming upstream, and you can see how they're building their muscles, and then it becomes rich with omega-3s and the fatty acids that we need. So we're really screwing up some serious
Well,
stuff.
and the thing too, when I read the whole article about this, is that, you know, the reason we're doing this, okay, yeah, for the salmon and everything. No, not really. It's so that we can have locks on the East Coast. It is. It's for all the people.
So
like,
you're saying the bagel lobby?
I'm thinking, yeah, the bagel
It's the
lobby
cream
has something
cheese
to do
people.
with this. It is.
And you're depositing them into Pacific, which is now radioactive,
Radioactive.
so it's going to be Lockzilla.
We talked about Fukushima a couple of weeks ago. They're saying,
Fukushima.
yeah, exactly. They're saying that it's not, that the levels are, you know, not going to affect humans. But who knows? Isn't this one of these
in 20
things?
years it might. But and here's my other thing too. We're spending all this money to take up these sweet little fishies and drive them and everything. Wouldn't it be nice to use that money to actually fix the issues we've got? Maybe like some alternative energy. It's just.
So that's the part that always fascinates
Rube
me.
Goldberg, right?
Yes.
So that's the part that always gets me, because the people that say, well, we're not doing, you know, climate change isn't actually happening, they seem to be the people that are more interested in money. But it seems to me there's also a lot of money that could be made in going green, and you wouldn't be hurting anyone. So that's the disconnect that I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's always but I got this stuff already put in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the oil pump there. I don't want to have to pull every oil pump out with so much. I want to get to the wind when we've tapped the oil, not when it's this much, and I gave up this much money to start all over again and slowly build a new market, as opposed to rock and roll and this one that I made.
I guarantee you, these big oil companies, they do these 10-year scenario things. They're looking at this stuff. They get where they're going to have to go because they want customers and they want to make money in 10, 15, 20 years. But you're right. They want to, squeeze every little bit out before they make the big turn.
So then is this just the next step in evolution that's probably been going on forever and ever? We'll just get to a point where we've ravaged this planet so much that we just have to go somewhere else. I mean, that's sort of what space exploration is all about, right? We're going to have to go somewhere else, and then we'll probably do it there too. I guess that's what Avatar was about. I think I just
I believe you just did that. Yes, that was very good.
Should we leave it there?
Well, that's, while we're this version of a consuming species, we're pretty much we're a parasitic, predatory threat to any place we go. We put a flag in, we photograph ourselves and everything, but we're already immediately killing everything around us to set up camp, Yeah. And not that there aren't other animals there already doing it. We'll be the absolute best at it wherever we go. Top predator wherever we go.
Unless we show up on Mars, and then the day we get there, somebody that's a little more advanced than us also realized that they needed to get there too, and their guns are a little bigger. Doesn't work out well for the humans.
That's right. We make good pets.
We will make good pets. We really will. All right, let's talk about net neutrality. We've been doing a bunch about it. Beyond the money and politics thing, I think this is the most important thing going on right now. So the FCC struck down net neutrality. It didn't look like they were going to do it, but they did. Net neutrality is the basic principle that everyone deserves equal internet access, and that the internet service providers have to provide the highway should be equal for everybody. Now they've flipped that so that the companies can throttle the internet. So if you don't think that's important to you, let's say you're someone who watches the Young Turks, there's a chance, right, if you're watching this, and you believe in alternate media, well, if Time Warner, which owns CNN, says, well, we don't like those Young Turks because they're not given the appropriate message. Well, then they can actually start throttling the speeds with which you get the Young Turks videos, get these videos. So this is hugely important, and especially now in a time when the mainstream media has failed us miserably and cable news is a disaster and all that. So again, we'll start with the broad thing. Was the internet broke and I didn't know it? You know what I mean? Was there really a problem here that the FCC had to jump in and get involved?
It was
in? Were you finding that the internet was broken?
It was only broken to the people who were suddenly losing their power and money.
Oh.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's who it was broken. The rest of us were like, hey, look, we have more power and access to our consumers and to our audience directly now.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is like, you know, the 60s all over again, but through ones and zeros.
Right, but not face to face.
Exactly.
But instead of
Without having
free
to
love,
touch anybody.
instead of free love with other people, it's a lot of porn. But,
Right. But porn's always, you know, the front runner. But yeah, it was not broken. I just love the way they're couching this, the FCC too. They're like trying to say, but as consumers, you're going to be happy because when you're streaming your Netflix video, there'll be no glitches because we'll give Netflix and people like that priority, which, you know, I get it at 2 a.m. when I'm watching The Bridge. I want to, you know, have it flowing correctly. Yeah. But yeah, this is all based on the fact that, and everyone will play fair. Don't worry, everyone's going to be fair about this.
So you've given me the perfect segue. So we've got a quote from the FCC chairman. He said, to be very direct, the proposal would establish that behavior harmful to consumers or competition by limiting the openness of the internet will not be permitted. Now that sounds nice, and that sort of sounds like what you were just saying, but it doesn't, there's nothing, there's no teeth in
There's
that.
zero teeth.
They just decided to change what was working and then say, well, we promise to not screw it up any further.
Yeah, but God forbid you say fuck, you know.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, fuck. Oh shit, I said fuck. Oh fuck, I said shit.
Is there anything we can do about this?
Well, first we got to get to the voter fraud. Because there are 4 of them through fucking history. Yeah. And so make sure everyone has to have an ID so they can't vote. And I'm the same guy that thinks this is another important law to put in. Yeah. It's the same exact mindset as that, is an artificial problem to take command back from people who are getting power from those other stories we were talking about earlier, that you're changing the way we make money. You fucked with us, now we're gonna pull the law.
Yeah, so we're gonna fuck with you.
Going with a little bit of a conspiracy theory here, could this possibly be why CNN gave us 3 months or whatever it is of 24-hour plane coverage? Because they want to keep our eyes off the real problems, because they are owned by giant corporate conglomerates that gain access and gain the money that you're talking about, and we're the ones threatening them.
Of course you could see it that way, but really CNN wants your eyes just to be on them. They don't care what you're ignoring. They just want I mean, they had the best ratings in what, 5 years or something like that, 10
really
years?
says a lot.
So I know, I'm not one to people sitting in a room and, you know, making up decisions about this. You don't need a conspiracy theory. The system is already, you know, against us, so. Yeah. That's my personal view.
Do we need what you've been talking about a couple times so far? Do we need this groundswell of support starting at the bottom? People taking to Twitter, Facebook, you know, the 99%, all that. Is that the only way we have a chance to get this thing fixed?
When have we not? When has that not been the case? When has that not worked?
Yeah.
It always works. Same key, same lock, every time. Yeah. Click, works every time you put it into it. Just you got to look for the key. I'm too busy. I got other stuff I got to do. Someone will do it. Someone will hit the lock for me. But it's everyone at once. It's like one of those nuclear missile things where 2 people got to put the key in, but it's an everyone key turn at once.
And I do believe that innovation, I mean, you know, the internet and everything around it, you know, is all about young minds innovating with things that we can't even begin to ponder. And I think there's going to be some young Turk somewhere in the back of a room, and he'll be like, I figured out the way to open up 1 billion times this over here, this space. And we'll all jump in there, and the corporations will be like, but hey, or why isn't anyone watching our stuff anymore? And we're all over there. You know, who knows?
And then they'll jump in and control that, and then someone will do it again.
Right. And that's the way it is. That's the way innovation works. That's the way our democracy works. That's the way evolution works.
Rabbit and fox, rabbit and fox, rabbit and fox.
Yeah.
Wow, Kelly, Carlin, you gave me a little hope at the end of this segment. I did not know that there was hope when it comes to the FCC, but apparently there is. Okay, well, speaking of the death of the internet, let's talk about the death of humans. Have you heard about this? Poses of Have you heard about this? Poses at funerals. Dead bodies in poses at funerals. This is the new big thing. But don't take my word for it. Let's look at the video.
The life of the party, even though she's dead. Friends of New Orleans socialite Mickey Easterling threw their pal a grand old funeral down in the bayou.
Not one stone was left unturned.
Well, she looks wonderful.
She does.
She looks just like Mickey.
She's sitting in a garden scenery to depict her backyard.
The 83-year-old's daughter said her mom loved the limelight, loved the attention, so there she was, kind of, posed with the help of some extreme embalming.
Yeah, there she is. I mean, she looks stuffed and taxidermied and all that good stuff. But if you didn't get enough of a view of this, we got 2 pictures of other people that have been put in poses posthumously.
So the dead guy is the guy in the hoodie with the sunglasses.
It was a little unclear to me for a second.
And the people on the right is his wife and his girlfriend.
Okay. We're getting Rick. All right, one more and then we'll come back. Let's look at this next one. Look at this guy, huh? Is he having fun in death or
Just
what?
wondering, did he die on his motorcycle?
Yeah.
Because that's a little...
Right, if he died in
That's a pretty light helmet he's wearing there.
That would be something. He died because he wasn't wearing a helmet, and then they put him on the thing.
I say go for more of that kind of stuff.
too.
You know,
Yeah.
there should be everything that was the moment before you died. You should be posed in it. You know, you should have.
I'm calling it the diorama of death.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you could do a whole museum of these things.
Yeah. Right.
It's
The moment
fabulous.
before.
Yeah.
That's something. So
So
it
the
should be
moment before. So there's the guy cleaning the gun.
Or the people fucking, the guy has a heart attack.
Yeah, guy
It's-
grabbing his left chest.
What about the
Saddle banging.
guy doing the autoerotic
Autoerotic,
asphyxiation?
sure.
Yeah, that's something.
Or you could do iconic ones, you know, like Johnny Carson doing his golf swing, you know, something like that. You can have fun with it. My dad, of course, wanted to be thrown out of a helicopter and just left wherever he landed.
And I'm guessing you were against that, as the daughter.
Yeah, I decided against
Wow,
that.
I see. What pose would I choose? if
Yeah,
it was me?
exactly. You really, now you have to think
So that's
about
what,
it.
that was my
How about
next
this?
question. What would you choose?
Hey, here it is.
Oh, that's
Forever.
so perfect. That's
Okay,
so
Kelly,
perfect.
to your camera, your death pose.
Really fuck with people while they're coming by.
And here's mine.
You never knew what hit him. You had no idea what hit him. And put
Is
a
there-
big question mark above your head.
Yeah, always. This actually seems kind of cool to me. We don't talk about death a lot.
Yes,
We don't.
exactly.
We don't sort of that. The video, it was a celebration of this woman's life. They had her doing the things that she loved. Yes, it's a little weird, I suppose,
But other cultures, I mean, you know, you go to India and, you know, people are carrying the dead body down to the Ganges and burning the bodies right there. I mean, it's an event. A family comes. It's a celebration. It's a, you know, they're connected with it. I think it's a step in the right direction. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, no.
In a
The
crazy
Irish
way.
understand.
Yeah, the Irish. Yeah, absolutely.
what are the Irish doing that I don't?
Awake.
Oh, yeah.
They have a party.
It's a party. We talk about all the funny, fun stuff the person did, so they're kind of come alive in
Yeah.
all the stories in that had drunken
Because that's
household.
what lives on anyway. And I love the socialite. I love that. And she, I guess, arranged the whole thing and had ideas and knew what she wanted. And,
Yeah.
you know, good on you.
How soon until we do a little animatronics with these people too? That's the next step,
All
right?
right, watch out for the freaky guy that wanted the love doll, though, you know.
Because the love dolls are coming too.
Knock it off.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Do we need to discuss death more in this society? We've talked about it a little bit on your show when I've done your show, and I feel like it is something that we don't have a real sort of healing discussion about.
Well, I think it underlies a lot of what drives us in this country. Our consumerism is driven by our fear of death. You know, we don't want to have a quiet moment. We don't know how to sit still and not be putting something either in our eyeballs or our mouth, you know, and that is a fear of death. That's the underlying, you know, denial of that great monster always around the corner. The great unknown, the biggest unknown.
Yeah. Bring us home, Rick. Give me something deep.
The science is now projecting that a person can live in the next half of this century, the wealthy should be able to get the, you know, Elysium machine to keep them alive for 150 years.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Have you heard about that?
It seems a bit much.
150 years.
Would you want that?
Let me guess, springtime. Chirpity fucking chirp. Oh, fucking flower. 150 goddamn springtimes.
American Idol, 89. Just kill me. Oh, you can't.
Honestly, I was ready to be killed after American Idol season 3, but all right, let's talk about love. We're going to end on a loving note. This has been a loving show, so we'll end with some love. This is really interesting. A new study conducted by researchers in Arkansas, which is where I get most of my studies from, suggests that our pets might have the same love hormone that humans have. It's called oxytocin, and let's look at some more info on the findings. For humans, oxytocin, or the love hormone, gets released when you're cuddling or having an intimate experience. Researchers tested oxytocin levels in a dog and a goat after they'd hung out separately. Then they let the two animals hang out together for 15 minutes. After that, they checked again. The dog's levels rose by 48%, which is about how much a human's would change in a similar situation, and I have an even bigger number than that. The goat's levels went up 210%.
See, now we
implying that the goat was in love with the dog. Is this what gay marriage was going to lead to?
No, but this is certainly what, bestiality, not lead to. They've been doing this for thousands of years.
Dogs fucking goats.
Loving sheep and goats in the field. I mean, you know, things get lonely.
Stephen Stills put it best. Love the one you're with. Static cling.
And it wasn't bad.
There's a lot of...
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Animal.
That was a sheep shot.
Rick, are you an animal guy too? I know Kelly's a big dog lady. I'm a big dog guy.
I'm a big animal rights person. Yes, I am.
Yeah. So does this surprise you guys? As animal people, I love my dog. I am completely confident that my dog loves me.
Well, considering that we are evolved from these creatures, it doesn't surprise me that we have similar hormones. I mean, if you believe in evolution, it makes perfect sense. And yeah, and I think they're finding out more and more now that animals have a real inner emotional life. I mean, isn't there a chimpanzee suing his owners right now for mistreatment? It's like on the cover of Time magazine this week or something. Yeah, it's something crazy like that.
Covered that one.
It's next week. You can cover it next week. But they're finding they're having this. They have an inner emotional life, which really then goes to the argument for we should not be animal testing. We shouldn't ultimately be eating these creatures, and yet we evolved with them. And I can't do zoos. I can't do them anymore.
I hated pet stores. You see them as a tiny little thing, and their feet are on those little bars on the bottom there, and it's like it's that same idea. You're watching it pace. You're watching it go crazy, like a prison.
Oh, well, yeah, it is absolutely. But my thing about this, which is. Science is finding out all sorts of amazing things about the brain and the body, and it's basically, it's discovering, why we oxytocin, why we connect, why we, the God thing, the parts of our brain that has that in it, and it all gets down reduced to cells and chemicals and everything, which to me is depressing. I mean, right? Shakespearean, sonnets and Baudelaire poetry. I want to believe in that, and I think there's a way, from, being Old Testament and then through rational science, important. But I think you have to also give that there is something else between us. Yes, it's oxytocin, and what else though?
So I think that's exactly what I circled 10 times here. So that part that's between science and the part of us that's very human, that wants to believe that love isn't some oxytocin or some midichlorians if we were in Star Wars or something.
It's a spiritual aspect. I love comedy, but comedy isn't emitting some big plume of hormones. I love it on a spiritual bond, because the spiritual bond is I have a hunger for certain things in my heart, and this energy comes in and starts to fill the cup up. I respond to that, and I will feed back and to start the loop going, because on an animal level, I want to be near it. I want to feed from it some more. But on a healthy level, that's what all love is based on. Recognizing something that made you feel good, that's a need filled.
And I think exactly, and I think it is about creating meaning in your life. Yes, it can be this chemical thing, but our minds, these amazing big frontal lobes, are the things that create meaning, and that gives life its power and why we're here and why we stick around, you know? So, and science can't fuck with that, you know? I mean, it is what we do with it. We've taken chemicals and made meaning out of it. I mean, look how amazing we are. You know, sure, a goat and a dog love each other, but maybe they don't have any meaning around it. We would have a whole story around it.
Yeah, so speaking of chemicals,
Do we ever?
Yeah.
Oh man, do we complicate love? Oh,
I'm just thinking about Woody
my.
Allen's movie now. Gene Wilder and the sheep.
Yeah. Oh.
Daisy.
Yeah. So going from the chemicals to our brains, how long until we put this in pill form? Because now it seems to me if we can isolate this thing, if we're good at one thing around here, it's putting everything in pill form, and we'll have a little oxytocin pill, and you'll pop that with a Viagra, and then
There's your rom-com. They never intended to fall in love, but timing is everything. Glug, glug.
Well, you know, I think actually if they could put it in pill form, it could save us all, because it is the ultimate love child flower power moment. I mean, it is that if everyone took ecstasy at the same time on planet Earth,
Fill a crop duster.
something might really amazing happen.
Is that
Just
what we
load
need in the
crop
Middle East? A
dusters,
crop
just
duster?
crop dust
Yes,
with that
oxytocin.
oxytocin powder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, guys, this has been a loving show, as I fully expected it to be.
Yes.
Any final thoughts on this loving note?
Be good to each other.
All right, pretty good. Be good to each other. Be good to these two people, especially on the Twitterer. Their handles are right down below. And thanks for watching, and we'll do it again next week.